Today we're in the Berkshires at a living history museum on the Pittsfield Hancock line, and we're going to learn about a community of people called the Shakers. Now, they had some interesting beliefs, including no physical intimacy. They believed in celibacy. Now, how did a group of people who didn't believe in childbearing expect to continue their community? Well, do you know any Shakers? Yeah, me neither. Also, this round stone barn is supposed to be a marvel of innovation. So unlike the Amish, they definitely embraced technology. We're going to learn a little bit more about that. We are at Hancock Shaker Village in the Berkshires. Let's explore. This is Elvis. The education director told me he's a bit of a celebrity around the farm. And this is a working farm. Through its community-supported agriculture, or CSA program, local families still receive fresh vegetables and herbs grown right here. And many of the farming methods used today are based on the same practices that the Shakers would use more than 200 years ago. We had a lot of fun meeting some of the animals before exploring the village. So before we check out that famous round stone barn, I have the question that if the Shakers didn't marry or have children, how did this community grow to more than 300 people at its largest? The answer surprised me. The Shakers would welcome any adults who wanted to adopt their way of life, and they would also care for orphans and children whose families couldn't provide for them. So they would grow up in the village, and when those children turned 21, they would decide on their own whether to remain with the Shakers or return to what the community simply called the world. I don't think I'm doing this right. Thankfully, this is a very patient cow. The men, women, and children all had different jobs throughout the village. They called this the City of Peace, but they all lived here in this 6-story brick dwelling that was the center of everyday life. And yes, that chair is exactly what you think it is. Before indoor plumbing, every bedroom needed one, especially the elderly and those who were sick. The men and women lived on separate floors, but they would eat in the dining hall on separate sides. This was a state-of-the-art kitchen for the 1840s and 50s. And right next door was the pantry, which was simple, organized, and practical, reflecting one of the key Shaker values that everything has its place. Ideas like built-in storage and efficient layouts would later influence American kitchens. On the second floor is the meeting room. They called their worship services meetings. There was a lot of singing and dancing in addition to studying the Bible. The men would sit on one side, the women would sit on the other side. The Shakers are known for their craftsmanship, and they believed that anything worth doing was worth doing well. The goal was always to keep it simple, make it useful, and do the work flawlessly. Shaker chairs became one of the finest examples of American furniture design because they were strong, lightweight, comfortable, and easy to repair. And if chairs made the Shakers famous in furniture, brooms made them famous in industry. Before the Shakers, most people would sweep with round bundles of twigs, but in the late 1700s, it was a Shaker who created the first flat broom, and they would produce and sell many of them to the public. You could still find Shaker quality-made brooms and oval boxes in the gift shop. And unlike the Amish, who still won't drive vehicles today, the Shakers embraced new technology whenever it made their work and life easier. And this 1923 REO is a perfect example of the Shakers embracing innovation. And finally, the round stone barn, the most famous building at Hancock Shaker Village, built in 1826. It's the only circular barn ever built by the Shakers and considered an engineering marvel of its time. It was all about efficiency. Wagons can enter and unload their hay, circle through, and leave without having to back up. And the cows faced inward toward the feed, making it easier to do the chores. Although it was a brilliant design for efficiency, The circular shape was expensive to build, and as farming started to modernize, the original advantages became less important. Today, the round stone barn remains an architectural icon, but the Shaker community that built it gradually declined, and by 1960, Shakers no longer lived here. So we spent more than 4 hours checking out these beautiful grounds, going in and out each of the buildings, and learning about the community called the Shakers, especially the story behind the people, their belief system, simplicity, quality workmanship, and the way they lived their lives, which is kind of fascinating. So whether you're into farming, history, or just want to explore something different in Massachusetts, Hancock Shaker Village here in the Berkshires on the Hancock-Pittsfield line, put it on your list.